What is the most popular place for walking in Almaty? Why is Mount Koktobe considered one of the city symbols? How can Almaty parks surprise tourists? And what can you see when you rise above the metropolis in a funicular car? We will tell about all this in a new episode of Welcome to Kazakhstan Project.
Almaty может похвастаться огромным количеством развлекательных.
Almaty boasts a huge number of entertainment facilities, cinemas, restaurants, nightclubs. But what if you just want to take a scenic walk? Almaty will pleasantly surprise you, and we will try to prove it in this episode of Welcome to Kazakhstan Project. My name is Zakirjan Mamlutov. Let's broaden our horizons. If you want to enjoy the views of Almaty, then there is no better place than Mount Koktobe. It is located in the southeastern part of the city. The height reaches 1,130 meters above sea level. You can climb it along the Serpentine, but another option is much more exciting. Use the services of the cableway, located in the park near the Palace of the Republic. The length of the cableway is 1,727 meters. The travel time is 6 minutes. Although the funicular lift does not take too long, but in a few minutes you will see how beautiful Almaty is from a bird's eye view. The whole metropolis at a glance. Look, gorgeous view. Koktobe offers one of the best views of the city. It is difficult to visit Almaty and miss this location. From one slope, you can look at skyscrapers and central districts. From the other, at the green slopes of the Ile-Alataue Mountains. Viewing platforms are upgraded so you can relax sitting in the shade of trees. And of course, the main attraction of Koktobe is the Almaty Television Tower, the tallest building in the city and one of its symbols. The height of the tower is 372 meters. And here is what Galia Kalilaeva, an employee of the Koktobe Park who knows everything about it, told us.
Гора Коктубе – это вообще сакральное место, и в доисторические времена это место было летней ставкой последнего Усунского Кагана.
Mount Koktobe is generally a sacred place, and in prehistoric times it was the summer headquarters of the last Usun Kagan, Altyn Yemel. During the invasion of the Dzungars, it was on Mount Koktobe at the top that Han Jolbaras held a general military council in order to understand how to gather forces to repel the attack and raids of the Dzungarian troops. Why Koktobe? Because it was the height of the mountain that made it possible to place soldiers around the perimeter of the mountain so that not a single foreign scout would get to this military council. This place was chosen by the merchant Verigin. He had apple and pear trees planted on this mountain, and there was a large apple-pear orchard, and this mountain began to be called Verigin Mountain and bore this name until 1972. In 1972, the Onomastic Commission of the Almaty city renamed this mountain, returned its historical name Koktobe. The park itself was founded on the initiative of Dinmuhamed Kunayev, the first secretary of the Communist Party of Kazakhstan. Dinmuhamed Ahmedullah really liked coming here, looking at the city from a bird's eye view. You can notice yourself how beautiful it is around. November 4th, 1967 was the opening of the cableway, as well as the opening of the Koktobe Park.
Канатной дороги, и вместе с ним было открытие парка Коктубе.
These are the 1967 model cable car cabins. After the reconstruction, they were not thrown away. They were put in a place of honor, and now all tourists and visitors of Koktobe can look at them with pleasure, take pictures, be nostalgic, and be surprised at technological progress. The most extreme attraction on Mount Koktebel. Sirik, hello. What is the name of this miracle? Fast coaster. This is a downhill. What speed does it reach? 40 kilometers per hour. The length of the track is 750 meters. So how long will it take? Maximum 5 minutes. So what do? First of all, I'll buckle you up. Well, it's a must. At such a speed, I myself would not refuse. For safety reasons, do not stick your arms and legs out on the track. Hold on to the levers on both hands. Forward gas, back brake. Excellent. Forward movement, backward braking. Do not stop along the trackway. Slow down before the tunnel. You can slow down when turning, but stopping is prohibited. You have to go slow before the tunnel. Instruction received. I am going. Well, Godspeed. Let's go! Oh, it's really scary. This is a roller coaster. This is the first time I experienced such emotions. Ask me if I go here a second time. For now, I can't answer, but I don't think so. Slow down. The tunnel ahead. I want to say that this 50 seconds made me a little scared.
Нет, конечно. Чуть-чуть испугался. Но путешествие продолжается. Притормаживаем.
We slow down.
Путешествие
But the journey continues, so the most interesting is yet to come.
Впереди. Аж слезы потекли.
I even have tears, not of fear, but of happiness. Happiness that I'm in Almaty, on Mount Koktebel, on the most extreme attraction.
Экстремальном аттракционе. Поехали.
It was a little interesting, a little scary, a little funny, but was cool. The next stop of our trip is one of the newest locations of the city, which appeared on the map of Almaty in the 21st century. We are talking about the park named after the first president of the Republic of Kazakhstan. It is located in the Bostandyk district, at the intersection of Dulati Street and Al-Farabi Avenue. The central place of the park is the observation deck. A serpentine path leads to it. The site is located at a height of 30 meters. While climbing on it, you can take a look at the entire park. You can see the city of Almaty. The view is fascinating. Apple orchards once grew here. In Soviet times, they were state farms specializing in the cultivation of the Apor sort. In the 90s, the territory was abandoned, almost fell into private ownership. But in 2001, the fate of the site was finally decided. There will be a garden. For many years, breeders and architects have been working on the revival of the Arboretum. And this is how it should be called, because there are a lot of trees here, and they were planted wisely. In 2010, the gates of the Arboretum opened wide for everyone. The urbanist Tarhan Turtayev believes that parks are very important for modern cities.
Также парки выполняют функцию природных анклавов, то есть это является пристанищем для многих мелких животных, птиц.
Well, the parks serve as natural enclaves, that is, they are a haven for many small animals, birds, rodents, and so on. That is, given that the urban environment in principle is rather a concrete and stone thing, it is quite difficult for animals to adapt to live in the city, and parks are just a haven for them. Watch how the squirrel jumps. By the way, here in this park there is a huge number of them. Any spruce tree is its home. Well, hello, beauty. What do you have there? Apple? Well, go on, hide it. The architect Nazir Kemal Dahanova told us about other secluded corners of the park.
Там у нас сейчас есть два очень классных сада. Японский сад.
We now have two very beautiful gardens there, a Japanese garden and a Kazakh garden. The Kazakh garden is in fact the personification of the steppe, the personification of our Kazakh lands. There is a huge amount of cereal species. There are gazebos in the form of shanarak. If you go deep and look very carefully, you can see our steppe in these gardens.
Совсем углубиться, да, и прям очень внимательно посмотреть, можно увидеть нашу степь в этих садах.
After a long walk through this splendor, we came to a Japanese island. At least everything here resembles this eastern country. Japanese-style gazebo, bridge, stone lanterns and small stream. But there is no water now because it's autumn. From the newest park in Almaty, we will move to one of the oldest. It was founded in 1872 by the gardener Kristopenko. The city garden was one of the most popular places of recreation at the end of the 19th century. The garden has changed its name many times. So in 1899, in honor of the centenary of Alexander Sergeyevich Pushkin, the park was given the name of the poet. After the Civil War, the name changed almost every 3 years. The park got its final name in 1942. The feat of 28 heroes of Panfilov committed during the Second World War forever remained in the memory of Almaty residents. Therefore, in the center of the park, named after 28 Panfilov guardsmen, the flame of the eternal fire burns. Probably one of the most famous monuments in Almaty is the Memorial of Glory. Previously, it was depicted on coins and stamps. It consists of 3 high reliefs: the oath, the feet, and the trumpeters of glory. In addition to the Memorial of Glory, many more architectural forms and sculptures in the park refer to the feats of the great patriotic war heroes. There is also the Alley of Fame, with stones containing the names of the Panfilovites. Once it was made up of lindens. Over the years, they were replaced by spruce trees. And of course, there are 2 iconic monuments in the park: a 6-meter bronze figure of Baurjan Mamashole on a granite pedestal and a monument to Ivan Panfilov, erected back in 1968. But there are some amazing architectural objects in the park from more distant times. They are united by the authorship of the great Almaty architect Andrei Zinkov, a man ahead of his time. He designed buildings in the modern art style, taking into account the seismic activity that is common for these places. At first glance, you will remember the unique open-work buildings that seem so airy but can withstand the elements. We are talking about the Ascension Cathedral and the Ikolas Museum of Folk Musical Instruments. We have only talked about the most important parks and gardens in Almaty, but there are many more small ones that are also nice to walk around. It can be the Pine Park along Kabanbai-Batyr Street, where coniferous trees reach for the sky, or the Mahatma Gandhi Park, a favorite place for retirees and mothers with baby carriages to walk. There are dozens of them. Not a single micro-district of Almaty is deprived of recreation areas. Almaty is not only a city of museums and restaurants, it is a wonderful resort for lovers of leisurely walks and picturesque nature. Walking through the parks and climbing Koktebe, you will see for yourself. Welcome to Kazakhstan.